And it's just to get people to think big, have a vision of greatness and what could happen, and begin to work with it. It begins with the thought. And as you have the thought, you put the action in. I know about that, I tell you. It's what I do all my life. I don't stop. I grew up in Alberton and in West Rhineville. You can't be poorer than people who live in West Rhineville. My father died when I was 9. She was 2. And my mother had 7 of us. You can't know more poverty. 2 dresses going from a life. You wear one today, you wear the one next Sunday to church. Then you wear it twice. You hear? With the big ones in using, I use them. When it's too tight for them, I wear in the big on me. But I wear in it. You understand me? I didn't come from rich, financially rich parenting. But we were rich in the mind because it starts with a thought. And we could be the best. You know, I didn't know we were poor, you know. Because when I go to school, I go to St. Stephen's School there in St. Stephen's Street. My mother got me walking home for lunch. And then wherever little food she cook, I got to there, take some. She give me to carry to a woman in Lane Avenue because I now take it we rich because we gave food to somebody else. So the things my mother did with the little we had made us feel like we were the rich ones. Because I carrying food for the lady. Then I got hustled back to St. Stephen's. All of that I doing in one day. You go to school, you go home. Huh? I am 10 years of age, I am 5th standard, then I go in 6th standard because my parents, my father dead, my mother ain't got no money to go pay for me go lessons to take scholarship. So I am 6th standard, I am 10, 11 years of age. Then my mother took me out today and sent me to Trust School. BG Trust High School. It started with the dream. And at 16, I was lucky to be 16. I write College of Preceptors. You know, for IGC, it always makes you feel like you're the dunce anyhow. Because I ain't get there and I thought I was dunce. But I got this teaching job and I never looked back. At 17, I started teaching at a regular Methodist school. Look, all I'm asking is to have a vision of your community, a vision of your life, a vision for your children, and tell me it, and we're going to do it. We could make it happen. We could achieve. I have people waiting. I passed through Washington because I was working in the Sudan. I'm telling you these things. God put me through some things, you hear? I got a picture there that show up where they live in for the last 6 months, 5 months from me, in a little room like this with a, you only got step twice and you get to the kitchen with the little stove there. Then you go, so, my desk there here. And I just do, I had she told me, I said, listen to the steps I'm making in my house. That is where I lived for the past 5 months. This is what God put me through to help another nation. Because this nation was at war for 50 years. They had a little break in between and then they start back, and the last war ended after 20 years. You have no concept of war. This is a country rich in oil. They just spend $35 billion a year in that country and they got nothing. The people got plenty money, but they can't imagine what it is to build a house. They don't start building houses. The World Bank and some developed nations, we call the donor community, get them some money to build some roads, and we put on roads and we put on government offices. But they live in things like huts. In the city, it's hot. We now bring to them, hey, you can live a little differently. You don't have to lie down on the mud or mats. But you can sit in a chair so that you don't get the diseases that you get. the pains in your body. These people didn't know about any 50 years of war, everything destroyed. But it starts with a dream. God put me through that to show me how I can help a nation rise up off of its feet. They're going to have an election, a referendum on January 9th. I should have been there for that. But I said to the World Bank, my people, my country's time now. I've helped East Timor, I've helped Liberia. It's time for, and now in the Sudan, I have to go home and hear the call. I hear the call, it's coming from within my gut. It's coming from inside of me, I cannot stay. But I should have been there January 9th for the referendum when people are going to vote for their freedom because they want a life. So what I did when I got there was to help them so that when January 9th and after comes, they have something substantial to start with. So I developed the government structure for them. Right now, I have to be writing job descriptions, everybody in one ministry, which will then expand to all the ministries. So in that ministry that I'm writing job descriptions for, there are 484 staff members that I have to write the job description for. I'm talking of a nation of 38 million people. I'm talking of a nation that spends $35 billion per year on their economy. It's not no easy thing. It's not we little paltry thing happening here. We barely got 700,000 people. I'm talking about 38 million people. You can't imagine what that means. And what it means to help a nation to get up off its feet with the problems they had in that nation. It only begins with you today, what we can do in our country. Continue to think about it. We're going to meet again. And we're going to come again. Because I want us to plan out. I'm going to every village. And I want to plan for every single village in our country. Because without that, you're doing nothing.
Yes, you got to build from the
and
grass.
those 83,000 square miles must work for us. That gold must make us rich, as you say. Nothing like me driving down in Matthews Ridge there and seeing people mining gold on the side of the road, and I get out the truck and me pan a little bit. I ain't get nothing because I know to do it good. But the men were there. I said, this is what Sir Walter Raleigh was talking about. That Guyana is paved, the streets of Guyana paved in gold. I see it there in Matthews Ridge. People mining gold on the side of the road. And I like another one.
Now the manganese company is going to be open soon, but not by Guyanese. And
Well,
I want to tell you all something.
But we got to have a partnership.